Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome, welcome, welcome. And here we are at another Anglo Zulu event. That's hosted by the 24th. We've got the 23rd in here, 33rd as well, there's the 45th. Oh, and the HB's in here as well. And there you can see also the 9th to 31st Regiment. And moving out as rifleman, there's Private Danforth. And there's Captain Eclipse of the Rifles. And here you can see, this is a map that's set up. This is the Battle of Iceland Wana. Now hopefully I got the pronunciation of that correctly. 22nd of January 1879. The first invasion of the British into the Zulu lands in South Africa. Oh heavens, this is not playing fair. Bringing a cannon with them, but hey ho. Friendly fire will be enabled, oh dear. So, let's watch while the forces get themselves set up. Now you'll notice they don't have a lot of barricades, except maybe the odd rock. There's Lofted Luke of the 31st, getting his boys set up. Over here, the 45th. Captain Lord Hansel, leading his boys, complete with fine moustache, of which we heartily approve. And you can see the fire is coming in on the Zulus, as they bravely charge the enemy. Look at this fellow, doesn't he look... oh, dead. I was about to say, doesn't he look fantastic? And then he was unceremoniously cut down, so the Zulus are still trying to make their way in. You can see them with that kind of beautiful shields dipped in water to harden them. Wow. Now you can see here some of the Zulus are getting close to their enemy, like this slippery little sod. And these guys obviously defending the camp, and the Zulus getting in there. But the 53rd, Captain Wonka, and these boys over here from the 24th, there he is. Staff Colonel Bumblebunts, yes, Bumblebunts even. Look at that face, ye gods. That's a face that's been hit by a shovel at one point in his life. And over here we have Major Shadow of the 24th Foot. So the boys are continuing to fire back at the enemy. You've got these two boys in the centre. Over on the right flank you've got the rifles, and even further on the right flank. Oh, hello. You've got a lot of cannon. And he's looking for an opportunity to shoot. Away goes the cannonball. Meanwhile, holding the front is the 45th and the 33rd. So, you can see putting down sustained fire into their enemy. Some accurate, some not. But most of the fire, I would say, or most of the focus of the Zulu seems to be coming in on this left flank of the British Army. Look, there's even some up here as well. And they're firing back well. HB there. Brown BVM Turtle. Biff Frostblade. And this is the officer. Who's the other officer? Vahima. Oh my goodness, Mr. Brightfire. But they're putting down some consistent fire right now. And it looks like they've decided to move the cannon. Now the cannon under the control of Crying Noob. Lance Corporal of the 33rd. Taking Colour Sergeant Burns with him as well. So you can see them trying to put down as much firepower as they can. 200 Zulus they're up against. And obviously got 20 how many players? It's difficult to see that actually. 74 players with 73 alive. So it's looking like obviously the better firepower of the Brits is dealing with the problem. And these fellows here, from the 31st, are in danger of being overrun by Zulus. The Zulus are now getting closer to them. They're continuing to fire. The spears are going into them. And the 31st may have to back off. We'll have to wait and see, but lots of fire coming in. And the spears going into the 31st. Look at this. One guy down on his knees. Probably got a damaged leg. But the Zulus continue to fall. And look at that. They've upped it to 300. So the Zulus continue to flood forward. Look at this. PFC Sparta of the 53rd. The officer keeping, Lord Hansel keeping the 45th together. And there's Lieutenant Colonel Elphinstone of the 33rd. There's Dipper, Corporal Henry, and hello. The LGHR, Severus in there. Von Prusen. And there's Von Reich. And they're in as scouts of sorts, I guess. Here we go, you can see now. The 33rd deciding to pull back. Some faster than others. But, not really a huge amount of space they can actually pull back to. These guys have got to be careful they don't get surrounded. The 33rd and the 31st are now pulling back to try and defend their position a little better. Oh dear. First team kill there into Captain Wonka has been killed. Courtesy of PFC Sparta, so he's going to get in trouble. So you can see here, regular man Jones of the 33rd. And look at this, Elder Zulu warriors. Don't they look fantastic with the padding and the shields? Got that leopard skin. Cowl of sorts. Oh, goodness me. You won't be a youth for much longer. And don't forget that this is a battle, the first, essentially put an end to the first invasion of the British into Zulu lands. And you can see why. Look at these guys. There's Trooper Alexander. Going in with a bit of butt action with the rifle. There we go. Finishes off his quarry. And still, the Zulus pouring in their thousands. Well, hundreds. Undaunted by the losses. Look at this. And now you can see them move back into the camp. Obviously the tents will give them some cover at least, but not much. And the boys sitting up there. Oh dear. Duffman has been executed. How unfortunate. And this is why you got to be careful coming through. Oh, hello, sir, with a fine crown on the head. It's Lord Hansel. Using spears back onto his enemy. And now you can see some of these Zulus have actually picked up rifles. Zulu sharpshooter, they've got bayonets as well. So they've managed to adapt their enemies. Look at that. Private Danforth shot down. They've managed to basically turn their enemies' weapons against them. And still the floods of Zulus continue to come into the camp. As every member of the British Army fights for survival. But meanwhile, hoping not to catch a Zulu spear in the face. Which will only cause problems. So PFC Sparta killing another officer. So he's on a roll right now with his moments of sedition, clearly. Akib Bayas, recruits of the 33rd. may need to start running. Yes, I think that would probably be a good idea. Chuck the bayonet on. Go and defend yourself. Try not to get shot in the head. Look at this. Fighting hand to hand. Oh, out comes the pistol from the officer, Captain Tylerus. The 6-shooter. Doing damage to some of these Zulus. Gotta load quickly. They don't have much option. What's going on over here? The boys continuing to back up to this area on the hill. The cannon's been moved. And now you can see, oh my goodness, so many bull bonces here. Krispy Kreme of the AZW UK. And they're, of course, chief of the bonces. I love how all these guys are bald. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, hello. What are you doing over here? Nothing much. Look at this guy. Going out and outflanking. Ah, he's an elder, so he's clearly a smart boy. Question is, how long will he live? Yeah, they've onto him. Yep, that's pretty much it. So, now they're up on the hill. They've got to be careful to make sure they don't get outflanked, because the Zulus are crafty warriors. And you can see things like this occurring. So you've got to have the lines defending the point. See, this is the problem they're going to have. Coming in behind them. Going to be a major issue for them. Unless they start putting up a line here. Sort of down to there. To sort of contain anybody coming in from that direction. The cannons continuing to fire back over the top of the heads of the army. As more Zulus flood in. Look over here. These boys here, fighting for survival. The members of the 31st. The crew Johnnis. They really want to try and get them into some kind of crossfire if they possibly can. Oh, checking out Captain Lord Hansel. Checking out the area. Seeing what's going on with the binocs. So. And there is another team kill. PFC Sparta is on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. Most valuable player to the Zulus. Oh dear. Cheddar Bob fighting for his life hand to hand with a member of the Zulu warrior nation. And a nice team kill in there as well. Kind of the norm for Mountain Blade melee. See what I mean? So, the hordes of Zulus continue to appear. 500 in total is the ones they're going after. And oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, look at that. Right in the bonds. And they're fighting. And another one goes down. Straight in through the shoulder. Into the heart. And these guys are on the back foot now as the Zulus continue to flood up the hill. Obviously, these Zulus, very fit, primed for war and battle. The British soldiers, maybe a bit pudgy. We'll have to wait and see. You can see them continuing to move up. Make their way backwards. To try and avoid the death that is coming for them. More spears coming in as the 31st here, Player H, is trying to defend himself. Not sure about that haircut. That haircut definitely needs work. But he's choosing it over to this area, maybe with the guys The 45th N coming in as well to try and reinforce. As the guys on the hill coming under sustained attack from the Zulu Nation. Look at that. The spears going in. Look at all these fellows. And they're charging in from the left flank. And this is what's causing them the problem. They haven't got this left flank covered. They're allowing them... There we go, they're shooting to the left. But the problem is they're all sticking together a bit too close. Now, I can understand that, but I'm surprised you didn't have them sort of more up here to keep that left flank clear while these guys continue to sort of deal with the other flanks as well. And now you can see them starting to retreat back again. As there is Colour Sergeant Barnes on top of the rock, reloading and defending himself. "15 British dead soldiers so far. "7 dead out of 500 bots. Oh boy. I'm sure they kill more than that. But, you know, either way, you can now see them fleeing back to the camp in disarray. They've lost their drilling there. Yes, fierce hand-to-hand combat is occurring. And they've got to hold this point if they possibly can. Sneaky fellow. Veteran of the 33rd. And there's the flag, ladies and gentlemen. There is the Jack, proudly displayed, but now in danger of being overrun. Look at this. Wow. Behind the cover of the carts, the left flank becoming overrun. Men forced to fight hand-to-hand for survival. Oh, goodness me, bit of a graphical glitch there. I'll watch this from up here. Look at that. The way they're becoming... You can see them flowing in from one side. Forcing the Brits to pull back. But eventually they're going to run out of distance. And it could be all over for the Brits soon at this rate. As more Zulus continue to flood into the battlefield. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. We'll move on to the next battle. And so, we are on to the next battle. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Battle of Rorke's Drift. Or should we say, the defence of Rorke's Drift. Obviously, an engagement in the Anglo Zulu War. 22nd of January, 1879 is when the previous battle occurred. And so this is the Battle of Rorke's Drift in the province of South Africa. So, everyone getting set up. Oh, the ammo boxes here by the flag. And look at this, the defensive positions well sandbagged. We've got the building nearby offering suitable cover, but not going to stop people jumping over the top of sandbags. So look at this, a massive line of fire coming in from the British Army, including the riflemen. Plenty of Zulus being cut to pieces by the fire. However, the eventual... Oh my goodness. Oh, hello. They've spotted it. The members of the 31st have spotted it. Over here on the Kazi flank, as we should call it. You can see some more Zulus. Moving over. Running sideways, but very impressive, I have to say. But the 31st are finding their range. Look at this fire coming in from these guys. Oh, hello, what are you doing up there? Hysteria Kane, again, with another physically impossible haircut. Oh, he's in a difficult position. Oh, it's Salzar, private of the 33rd. Taking pot shots at the enemy. So you can hear combined scouts and riflemen of the British Army claiming many bodies. But you've also got these forces over here. Oh dear. The rifles, Private Danforth and co. Trying to cut down as many Zulus as they can as they make their way across the open field. It's making me want to get Zulu on Blu-ray or 4K, to be honest. I haven't seen the film for ages. Married Zulu warrior. Now, the wife is a widow, sadly. She'll have to find some other way. But the boys continue to defend themselves. Colour Sergeant Burns. And look at this. They're all coming over here, and you notice their kind of pathing is focusing round the side, then over this barricade, which seems a bit silly because it's like can force them to focus fire on this point. Now it's possible they may have too many coming through. That means that it's difficult for them to keep up the rate of fire. Oh, there we go. Some people taking cover behind the Kazi. Who are these? Oh, it's Salzar. I might have known. And look at that Elphinstone going a little bit aggressive. Look at that line of men making their way over. Holy crap. That, ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. Look at that. How many there are here. Facing their shields towards the enemy. Derping out my camera. But this is the thing, you see. If that wooden wall cannot get broken down, they're going to be all coming in through that point, and it's a bit silly because you could have some attack from this point, but I suppose it's just limitations of the mod, maybe. I don't know. But here you go. Bodies everywhere as they continue to push into this point to try and push against Rorke's drift. And it's going to get very, very, very heavy soon with the number of forces making their way. Look at this. Maybe less fences on the map. We'll have to see. But obviously you want it to be as historically possible or historically accurate as you possibly can. So the boys of the British Army continuing to focus the fire. The Zulu warriors are getting through, but not very far. The British flag continue to be defended. And they're doing a fantastic job, all of them. You can see a little gap in the line here with Lieutenant Spartan in the middle. Doesn't she look lovely? Who's this? Schweizer Imperialist. He's just getting ready. Picking up some ammo. Oh, hello. You're getting a bit big fruity there, Von Reich. See what I mean? Look at this. They've made it to the walls. And the walls are then going to be damaged. Broken down. And that could be a problem. Look at that. They're reaching the walls. The spears are coming in over the top of the sandbags. Elder Zulu warriors are trying to get in. Down go... Oh, look at that. A spear right through the neck. Oh, fantastic stuff. There's sneaky fellow trying to take cover. And the thing is, part of the problem you have... Stay inside the sandbag. Look at this. They've broken through the sandbags here. The bodies are just literally lying everywhere. And these guys may have to pull back to the building. But there's not really much place for them to go. As they continue to try and defend, as you've got these guys also offering a bit of cover to the defenders. We get a bit of a graphical glitch there, I do apologise. But they've got to stay within the walls. Don't want them going outside, but... Look at this. They're making it in. They're not getting very far, but they're making it in. And look at all these spears lying on the ground. And the brave warriors that are defending their lands. Historical lands for many, many years. And obviously, as in keeping with the British Empire, they've said, oh, these lands look lovely, we'll take them all. Which is the unfortunate history of the British Empire. As India can attest to as well. And probably 3/4 of the globe. So, I wonder if there's anybody in here. Nope, nobody, but... Interesting. See, they do have some doorways and windows. It's interesting that nobody's actually in here. Probably because that's where they keep the beer. They can't be trusted. But it could be that there's no way of them getting in. Oh, goodness me. Look at the amount of beer in here. Masses of beer. Oh, hello. They are in here. Captain Wonka. They've retreated to the building. There you go. You see them. Taking pot shots at the Zulus. It's only a matter of time before the Zulus knock on the door. Okay, one of them already trying. There we go. A fine stab into his Zulu enemy from the members, the well-trained and well-drilled members of the British Army, trying to fight back the onslaught of these brave Zulu warriors. Look at this. Just makes you appreciate the guys who had to do it for real. Just absolutely amazing. And look at these guys just pouring in like water through a dam that's broken. And they have step on the bodies of their comrades and their friends who may have just died before them from the bullet fire of the British Army. Imagine having to do that. Oh. But the losses do not diminish them. They continue to push forward. Look at this. Obviously, some of them not historically accurate pathing. But, you know, you can't have it all. Look at this. There's Crying Noob. Oh dear. Fine response from Mr. Noob there. But the others are onto him. Oh, look at that. Quick kick in the balls as well. That's a bit rude. I see him dodging the bullets there. And down goes another Zulu warrior. We look over to the flag. Who's this? It's Salazar. In as a scout stroke turncoat from the Zulu nation. Fighting against his own people. Oh yes, this is not good. And there you have it, ladies and gents. What they're going to be doing is they're actually going to be doing two-part battle. One part is going to be daytime. And one part will be nighttime. Well, it's the evening as dusk settles in. The hospital is on fire, well and truly. And the members of the British Army, look at this sandbaggy loveliness here around the flag as the regiments get themselves set up. And now they got to get themselves moved into position. As the Zulus, here they are, making their way past the Kazi. I wonder if there's anybody in the Kazi just hiding out. No, just for once there isn't. So, the Zulus have appeared to change their tactics. There's an officer, it's Captain Wonka. Not sure what the playing card's about, but you can see here the defences have been breached as more Zulus make their way round the hospital. Uh-oh. Captain Lord Hansel having to cheese it in the opposite direction and get behind some cover. Ammo crates remain there. As you move over to one of the flanks. This Mario Oakenheel from the HB Lieutenant. There's Biff Frostblade. All this lordly handsomeness. Goodness me, look at these guys pulling back. Retreat and then fire, retreat and then fire. And now starting to apply the bayonets for a bit of hand-to-hand combat. This could go well or possibly badly. There's Trooper Alexander of the 33rd. Pulling backwards from the onslaught of the Zulus as more defensive positions are being held. And the flow of Zulus continue. They're going to have to get up on the wall here behind the barricades to defend themselves against the onslaught of the brave Zulu nation. Look at this, just flowing in from everywhere. It's literally like water. Finds the easiest path in when flowing. And this is what it seems to be. Oh heavens. Goodness me. More Zulu veterans. Look at this beautiful fella. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe not so beautiful anymore. Look at this. Just fantastic. Just imagine doing this in real life. It's sobering experience when you think about it. As you can see, these boys... Ensign Duffman, Michael Smolnik from the 33rd. You've got Crying Noob up close and personal against the enemy. Another Zulu warrior making his way in. But look at these hordes. Oh my goodness, this is insane. Just the sheer number of people coming in their general direction. Could be a lot more. And obviously, so their battle was 150 men against 4,000 to 5,000 Zulus. Pretty mad when you think about it. But obviously the advantage of technology that they had with their rifles, cartridges, etc. and medicine to try and keep people on their feet. Zulus probably didn't have any of that kind of stuff. And yet it didn't deter them, they continued to attack. overrun the enemy on multiple times, get inside the barricades, cause enormous amounts of damage. Just fantastic to look at this. Oh heavens. Oh, could you imagine a modern version of Zulu shot today? You could do that with CGI and just make waves and waves and waves of Zulus. Would look amazing. But kind of, I mean, speaking if I was from a filmmaker's point of view, I'd want to make it with as many sort of real people as possible. I mean, you know, you could obviously increase the size of a crowd, so you could probably shoot with maybe 300-400 Zulus, and then just use sort of copy and paste equivalent with with CGI, and make them up to the 4,000 needed. Oh hello, look, coming charging through the hospital here, past the beds. Ignoring them completely, all the medicine in there, clearly. They won't know what that's about, but they are continuing to push the flag and the defensive position, no doubt. And you can now see the riflemen defending the inner part from the Zulus, as the outer part is also held. Look at this. Into the night. Wow. Look at the bodies everywhere. Absolutely amazing. What is it about hair in this game? If you had a haircut like that, you'd really wonder why they would actually cut it like that. But yeah, whatever. We move on. Actually, I tell a lie. I think this might be Rorke's drift. I do apologise if that's the case. You can see quite small. Does look people stuck inside the car seat or equivalent of. Look at these arches that have been broken down. Obviously, the church. Wow, look at those. Those are quite some serious Zulus, thousands of them. Reminds me of that episode from Bottom, where he says, "Wait until you see the whites of their eyes, lads. They would have won if they kept their eyes shut." It's true. Can't argue. So, I think obviously Isand Luanda was the previous battle, and now we're on to Rorke's drift. Some guys can't get up the top there. And so, look at all these fine fellows. Oh, the firepower coming out from these lads. Into the Zulu hordes coming towards them. They're already making up to the wall. Oh heavens, was that a shotgun blast? I think it may have been. Oh goodness. Heavens above. Yeah, there's some shotguns going in there. Or equivalent of a blunderbuss. Yeah, look at that. But still the Zulus make it to the wall. One getting murdered as they takes down an enemy. There's Lieutenant Welsh guy. In as an officer, fine sash. And obviously, there's the Bumblebonce himself, fighting off the enemy with a 6-shooter. Oh goodness me, what's that? They're inside, look at that. Oh, this is going to be a problem if they don't pay attention. The flag is in danger. As you can see now, these boys defending as best they can. Pulling back, they've got to be careful. Front wall taking damage, yep indeed. They really need to literally form a line somewhere, maybe here by the flag, and just continue to fire consistently back into the enemy. But that front wall, look at that damage it's taking. As Captain Wonka gets speared. And now you can see you've got Zulus throwing spears over the top. Firing bullets into the centre. As these boys here from the 31st hold the line as best they can. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if they move forward. Notice we have no engineers to rebuild defences. Look at this. Oh, hello. What are you up to? Yeah, that's a blunderbuss right there. You can see the blunderbuss shots coming in, still taking down masses of Zulus. Schweizer Imperialist. These guys are going out to try and get as many kills and get as much sort of widespread damage as they possibly can. Look at the front here. Completely taken apart. But now, you can see, look, the boys moving forward to try and form a line against the enemy. Putting fire down as much as they can. Obviously making sure not to kill their friends at the same time. Over here on the right, the fire continues to pour in, courtesy of the 24th Foot. Private Nilob. There's White Folk. And there's Welsh Guy. Doesn't this look amazing? So. Oh, hello. And that's interesting. You can see Agent there has got a spear on his back to prevent himself from getting speared himself. Or got a shield on his back, I should say, to prevent himself from getting speared. And down go more Zulu warriors, and look at these scouts getting quite aggressive. Members of the rifle, Colonel Nova of the 45th, going in for some murderization onto the enemy. Getting in a quick reload before it's overrun. Nice shot into the enemy. You can now pull back to the flag through the smoke and cordite of his fellow soldiery as they continue to defend the point against the Zulus. More spears coming. More murderization occurring with the bayonet. From the 31st, there's Nelson, and down he goes. Killed by a Zulu warrior. And now, look at this. The lads moving back to the flag. Looking to hold the line as best they can. That seems to be a good place to be, difficult to get to. As some more Brits still push out. Getting aggressive as the members of the 31st, Recruit Jonas, continue to fire back into the enemy. And look at this, more forces moving forward to support with these fellows. It's the 33rd Fusilier Last Ash, or Last Ash. So the Zulus have finally set fire to the hospital, and we move on. And so they are forced to pull back into the central defensive area as the Zulus now continue to push. As obviously they've set the hospital on fire. Look at this, burned to the ground. Probably with people in it as well. And now they fall back to the last position to defend with all their might and firepower against the rampaging hordes of Zulus. Yes, them too. The rampaging hordes of Zulus that continue to attack. Look at that. Nice framing for a photograph, I suppose. Unfortunately, the kill feed proves it not to be, but you know, would be nice. The final Zulu assault. Oh, this is going to be brutal, but look at these guys behind the sandbags, making the most of their defensive position. The boys at the front, obviously at most risk. Ouch. More Zulu sharpshooters getting felled. In comes the spears. Let's look at this. Isn't this glorious? The Zulus continue to pour in to the defensive position of the British Army. Continuing the fire. The relentless hordes of the Zulu Army. Or the Zulu Nation, I should say. Continue to flow through. Down through this valley. And into the British defensive position. Uh-oh. This is not good. Oh, hello. Lance Corporal Raff. Oh, heavens. Goodbye, shield. But look at this. They're still fighting back. Going in for a stab and a grab. And look at this. Starting to push out and getting aggressive. Look at this. The 31st getting very aggressive. Lieutenant Spartan as they start to break down the defenses. Oh, look at that. Lieutenant gets horribly murdered in front of his men. Oh dear. Look at that. Firing in happiness into the air. They've stopped. They have stopped the attack.